Famous YouTuber Sean Jacksepticeye McLoughlin may be known for his videos on horror games, comedic gameplay, and an iconic scream that made him one of the biggest faces on the entire platform. While he tries his best to be as real as possible with his fans, some of them end up taking it the wrong way and think they've got something more with the star. Let's look at some of his creepiest experiences, starting with his creepiest fan encounter ever. A fan base is something that all celebrities, no matter their platform, love having. They often try to give love back to their fans by meeting them and conversing with them as much as they can to build an interactive community. But because of this, the YouTuber had an interaction he never thought would happen. Recently, the star came on a podcast with Anthony Padilla on his channel. The two were talking about how they struggled with fame on the internet and how important shifting their mindset was when the topic suddenly shifted to their weirdest fan encounters. As Jack talked about his experience, he pointed out that it took place right after he had broken up with his ex. The star was at a meet and greet when a fan came up to him and said that they met him just last year, which wasn't that weird. He then took pictures, telling stories about themselves and so on. Everything was still under control until the fan asked, "Can I ask you a question?" Thinking that it couldn't be anything major, the YouTuber agreed. The fan then leaned in really close, put their hands on his chest, slowly moved it lower, then whispered in his ear, wishing that he had stayed single for long. Furthermore, this wasn't the first time it's happened. Though this is far from his first encounter with a fan that didn't care about boundaries, a person on Tumblr asked him if he had ever gotten angry at a fan, to which the celebrity replied that he rarely ever gets really angry at people, though he does get frustrated. One of the biggest instances was when he was walking around a mall with his girlfriend, and someone started recording them. That would have been creepy for anyone. Moreover, he left Ireland after a scary fan encounter. During an interview with the Irish Times, the gamer talked about why he moved to Brighton from his home in County Offaly. One of the major reasons was because fans had showed up at his door completely unannounced. One morning at exactly 8 a.m., he answered his door in a pair of shorts and a shirt, thinking that it was probably the delivery guy. Turns out it was two kids with their mom and a huge banner. The encounter scared the YouTuber, thinking that nothing in his life was private anymore, not even his own house. This and similar instances made him think he was sharing too much about himself online, and that he needed to make sure his home was now more than just private. Admittedly, Jax had a few very busy years, mainly due to him working with Hollywood stars such as Tom Holland and Ryan Reynolds. The gamer made an acting debut in the film led by Reynolds called Free Guy, and recently even shared a video of him playing Uncharted with Tom Holland. The two got along really well, although they did almost leak a cameo from the film. Moving on, his take on parasocial relationships in the industry. Parasocial relationships on streaming or video sharing platforms are one-sided bonds that fans end up creating with their favorite streamers or YouTubers. There are rare instances where a member of the audience feels intimately connected to the online personality without them feeling the same way towards them. This is to be expected when a part of some audience shares intimate details about themselves in exchange for a small donation or subscription, trying to get their attention, while to the people on the other end, they're mostly just names. These kinds of relationships are the norm on such platforms. A lot of content creators have come out about getting messages from fans about their struggles and stories, and even asking for money. This leaves content creators in a weird position, since they don't know how to help their community members, and nor can they just help everyone. Jack ended up finding himself in a similar situation when his father passed away in January last year. On Dr. K's podcast, the gamer said it's just a thing that needs to be shared with the community. Despite his wanting to keep it private, he just couldn't, since people would have started poking into his business and whereabouts if he had straight up disappeared for 3 weeks. The YouTuber had to address his community to leave his family alone. alone, to let him be alone for a while, and to respect their boundaries as they go through this tragedy. Jack realized he needed to tell people up front, or else things would just get worse. Lastly, it takes place as 0.01% of the experiences with his fans. Though before he went into all of this, he told Anthony that most of his interactions with fans were delightful. The gamer goes on to say that about 99.99% of them were lovely, and people usually just want to come up, talk a bit about their life experiences with their favorite gamer, and tell them about the lessons they've learned. It is a heartwarming experience. In the end, he does admit that while a few encounters were extremely unpleasant, and that they're usually really joyful and wholesome, but some people here and there love unleashing something bizarre. Other news coming up: Jacksepticeye tears into Twitch after the new revenue split decision. Famous YouTuber Sean Jacksepticeye went off on Twitch earlier as they announced a reduction in revenue splits for its top creators, down to 50-50. After putting up some well-needed restrictions on gambling streams on the platform, the company owned by Amazon decided to cut its revenue split with content creators. This decision was shocking, since most streamers even petitioned for it to be raised to 70-30 for everyone, instead of just exclusive members of the streaming space. The platform's president, Dan Clancy, later came out on a blog post, refusing to share a bigger cut with its creators, saying that the reason behind it is the high operational cost. As expected though, the community was not at all happy with this decision, and creators from all platforms are criticizing it. The YouTuber went on Twitter to express his disgust, calling this decision a mess that was owned by one of the biggest companies in the world, and still was acting like an amateur platform. It isn't a big surprise to see a lot of streamers moving over to YouTube after this went through. Moving on, Jacksepticeye's take on Markiplier's YouTube drama. Many people may think that Mark's video was cut because he did the age-restricted challenge the same day, with YouTube cutting the content out that very night. But Jack said that that's just not true. He's worked with the company for a long time, and they don't operate that way. The company simply doesn't work that fast. When he asked Mark about the whole debacle, he said that they simply cut it for time or some similar reason, though this doesn't mean that the platform is without its faults. As the video was uploaded once more, it ended up getting flagged. Jack then pointed out that the platform standards are full of inconsistencies and a lack of communication between creators and the company, which ultimately makes it impossible for anyone to know what exactly is right or wrong. The creator also feels that because of this lack of communication, Mark's video was cut as well, and not even the people marketing the event knew he was cut. He continued saying that all of it boils down to departments within the platform just not talking to each other, which all in all kind of sucks, since what exactly are creators supposed to do if YouTube doesn't know what it's doing either? He ended his video by saying that all of this could be easily avoided just by some clarity and communication. Finally, Jacksepticeye joins Dream, Markiplier, and more in Game On. The YouTuber is joining what we all think is going to be the event's highlight, the new Dynamite Dodgeball mode by Nox Crew, with him trying out the all-new mode along with Minecraft stars such as Dream, Tommy in it, George Not Found, and many more. The event also includes other mini-events that combine video games with real-life games, featuring games such as Fall Guys, GTA 5, Among Us, Trackmania, and even crossword puzzles. Moreover, there's also going to be interactive content with creators such as Markiplier, and a Street Fighter 6 interactive demo held by Sean Evans from Hot Ones, with the losing players having to eat increasingly spicy wings. All of these big names would then be joined by even more creators, such as Saikuno, Sapnap, Sidemen, and many more, to create a huge event celebrating content on the platform for fans of multiple different games. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on parasocial relationships? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.